Hey guys, this is Attorney Walter Now, Disability Resolution PA. We're going to be going through the next question here from the Social Security frequently asked questions. Can the Social Security trust funds remain solvent without making changes to the program? In the annual trustees report, which is something I've read, from to you guys before, projections are made under three alternative sets of economic, demographic, and programmatic assumptions. So basically, that's the low, middle, high. Under one of these sets, like if things go great, if things don't go so great, and then the middle one. Under one of these sets labeled low cost, the trust funds remain solvent for the next 75 years. Meaning like, it's great, we don't have to put out that much money, we got 75 years, everything's awesome. Which we know is unlikely. Under the other two sets, the intermediate and high cost, the trust fund reserves become depleted within the next 20 years. The intermediate assumption reflects the trustee's best estimate of future experience. So we got to focus on the high cost and the intermediate one. We hope the high cost doesn't happen, but we have to plan that one is going to happen. Actually, we know it's going to be higher than that because of the whole COVID situation. Some benefits could be paid even if the trust fund reserves are depleted. For example, under the intermediate assumption, annual income to the trust funds is projected to equal about 79% of program cost. Once again, about 79% program cost once the trust fund reserves become depleted. If no legislation has been enacted to restore long-term solvency by that time, about 3 of scheduled benefits could be paid in each year thereafter. The trustees believe that extensive public discussion and analysis of the long-range financing problems with the Social Security program are essential in developing broad support for changes to restore the long-range balance of the program. What they're saying here is that the ship is right now taking on water and sinking. Hasn't sunk. It's not broken in half. It's just we need new legislation. Their whole big thing is the Social Security 2100 Act, which is to tax rich people, essentially a lot more, and then basically to go ahead and increase the tax that we pay for Social Security benefits. Heaven forbid we look back to see why all these pet programs got paid and the money didn't go into this. There is actually a world in the multiverse where the United States governed properly. It's not this one. But there is in the universe, in the multiverse, a specific universe where government officials properly invested into the Social Security program, and it was so much money that they invested that essentially, what they would make off of doing the little special trust bond thing would go ahead, and the interest alone would pay for the yearly costs of people to go ahead and benefit from this. But not this universe. This universe, we had pet projects, and pet projects, boy oh boy do we like those. We did so many of them that we may have, not effectively legislated to use the money and invest it as appropriately as we should have, resulting in 2021 being the first year where the trust fund didn't have enough money to go ahead and basically incoming versus outgoing situation. There's still money in it to continue to pay benefits, but it didn't make enough this year. It was a company that had a bit of a loss, if you think of it that way. They're pushing pretty hard with these questions, a fundamental issue. And the fundamental issue is that basically we, especially due to COVID, which they didn't even mention in this, I'm sure that's, we need to legislate immediately. And like I said in the other video, one of the main big problems is that sometimes the federal agencies, as big and as powerful and as amazing as they are, they don't have what it takes to fix their problems. The Federal Reserve gets in that position sometimes. The Federal Mint gets in that position sometimes. The IRS gets in that position sometimes. The Social Security Administration is in a big way in that position right now. And what that means is that, and it's sad too, because Social Security is like the most moral, ethical agency we have when it comes to the purpose of it. Think about it. They basically collect funds to pay for people to exist when things go bad or they get old. That you could sum it up that way. So, kind of the bottom line here is, considering all this, we either have a Social Security 2100 style act come out where we punish the American people with higher taxes because of the moronic duties or lack of ethical conduct on behalf of the politicians. Now think about it. If the politicians had handled money appropriately, you'd done less pet projects, right? We would have ended up with essentially more money in this Social Security account. But now, do we punish the politicians? No, we're giving them a raise. Seems unfair. So who do we punish? Who do we get to pay for this, right? Do we make the politicians? But no, we gave them a raise because they just get to vote their own raises. Do we get to blame the people? Well, we shouldn't. It wasn't the people's fault. They weren't watching this, right? It's not their job to watch this. Well, let's tax them anyway because, hey, that's how we can fix this and that's how we fix it. So that's unfortunately the Social Security 2100 Act immoral part of this. It is the fix, but it is the immoral part of it. It is the politicians putting more burden on the backs of the American people, lessening their quality of life, increasing the potential of more funds to go into the Social Security account, when, if they had just done their job appropriately to begin with, the politicians, they could have set this up to make so much money that they wouldn't even need more taxes. They could have lessened taxes. We don't go that way in this country, though. The way we go is put more on the people. And the people are going to get to a point where they're not going to put up with this crap anymore. They're not going to want more taxes. And taxes are so high right now that I believe the American people are getting close to that. If you're sitting there going, I don't mind the taxes, well, you're probably in a very low tax bracket. But those people making a lot of money, they're paying a significant... Oh, no, they're cheating their way out of it. No, they're not. Those people that make lots of money, they pay a heck of a lot more money than a whole... Line them up. Line as many low-income and middle-income and high-income people up as you can. The people making the big money, they pay for more taxes than all those people. A lot of you guys don't realize that. It's kind of weird that you don't. A lot of you guys sit back, they have the money, let's take it. Well, that's why they move to a different country and do their own thing somewhere else. Once again, the system wouldn't need to put this on the wealthy people. The system wouldn't need to put this on all of the American people had the politicians just done their job correctly to begin with. The taxes for this stuff shouldn't be going up. We know how the program works. We know how much we need. It's no surprise. The taxes should be going down on something like this because as we save and increase the reserve, the amount that we get of the investment from reinvesting those funds that people put in should be enough to put the balance where people don't have to pay as much taxes going into the future. We didn't go that route. We didn't go the surplus route. Kind of did with Bill Clinton, but you see what happened after that. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, if you like this channel, like, subscribe, 5-star. I go live 8 to 10 every Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. And I'll catch you a little bit later and have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.